everyone. I am Dr. Bhagwati Ukani, Associate Professor from Department of Radio Diagnosis. Today's my topic is plain abdominal radiograph in patient of acute abdomen. In surgical posting of clinical side, you had seen many patients of acute abdomen. In that cases, clinician examine and elicit their clinical finding and refer these patients for pathological investigation and radiological investigation. In radiology, they are mainly referred patient of acute abdomen for X-ray abdomen standing and ultrasonography of abdomen. Objective of today's lecture is to identify normal X-ray abdomen and to identify free peritoneal air, pneumoperitoneum on X-ray abdomen standing in case of bowel perforation, and third objective is to identify intestinal obstruction, in which cases multiple air fluid level are seen. So we are discussing first normal X-ray abdomen. Large amount of gas normally present in stomach and large bowel. Only small amount is present in small bowel. We can identify gastric rugae on supine radiograph and long fluid level in stomach when erect X-ray is taken. 3 to 5 fluid level less than 2.5 centimeter in length may be normal and seen particularly in right lower quadrant of abdomen. Figure 1 shows this is X-ray KUB or X-ray abdomen supine showing region of kidney, ureter and bladder. So it is KUB X-ray and showing the lower ribs. In X-ray showing the lower ribs, lumbar vertebra, sacrum and bony pelvis. There is also renal outline is well seen in this X-ray and the margin of the psoas muscle is seen. Here is the psoas muscle. This is right, this is left, and a small amount of gas present within the small bowel and a sigmoid colon. This is X-ray abdomen standing showing multiple air fluid level seen within enlarged bowel. This is a X-ray of intestinal obstruction. This is normal X-ray KUB. This is diagrammatic representation of the various organs. This is a margin of the liver which is outlined by its surrounding fat. This is spleen. This is air-filled stomach. This is renal outline which is outlined by the perinephric fat. And this is margin of the psoas muscle. This is gas and fecal loaded ascending colon. This is descending colon, and this is air-filled small bowel loops noted. More than 2 fluid level in dilated small bowel, caliber more than 2.5 centimeter are abnormal, usually indicate paralytic ileus or intestinal obstruction. If large bowel diameter is greater than 5.5 centimeter is abnormal. And for cecum, 9 centimeter is upper limit. The border of the kidney, psoas muscle, peritoneum, posterior border of the liver and spleen can be identified by the fat which surrounding them. The fat line can be displaced by enlargement of this organ or effaced by inflammation or fluid. On X-ray KUB or abdomen X-ray, sometimes we see radiodense calcification is there. Causes of abdominal calcification are visceral and non-visceral. In visceral calcification, there is a liver calcification. So differential diagnosis for liver calcification are granuloma. Granuloma due to tuberculosis or fungal infection, hydatid cyst, primary liver tumor. In case of hepatocellular carcinoma, we can find calcification within the liver, or metastasis. Metastasis is secondary from some other primary malignancy. In case of mucinous cyst adenocarcinoma of bowel, we can find calcified metastasis in liver. Other is splenic calcification. Causes of splenic calcification are maybe granuloma, it can be tuberculous or fungal, splenic artery aneurysm, in which cases we can find curvilinear calcification, cyst, simple cyst, hematoma, old calcified hematoma. Old hematoma can calcified, and in fact, in case of sickle cell anemia, we find splenic infarct. On chronic stage, it may calcify, and sometimes splenic abscess may calcify. Splenic abscess may be present in case of HIV or immunocompromised patient. Other is pancreatic calcification. In case of chronic pancreatitis, there is a parenchymal calcification as well as intraductal pancreatic calculi may be present. Tumors of the pancreas like cyst adenoma or cyst adenocarcinoma can calcify. In adrenal gland calcification, causes are hemorrhage, tuberculosis, neuroblastoma. Neuroblastoma mostly present in case of pediatric age group, and pheochromocytoma. Other is female genital tract calcification. In case of leiomyoma, that is fibroid uterus or leiomyosarcoma. This X-ray abdomen showing there is a multiple foci of calcification noted in region of L1, L2 vertebra, which resembles the shape of the pancreas. So this is calcification in case of chronic pancreatitis. This is X-ray abdomen standing showing there is multiple air-filled bowels are seen, and there is a well-defined curvilinear calcification noted in region of lumbar vertebra, which bifurcate and appears like follow vascular pattern. So this is calcification of abdominal aorta, and this is calcification of the common iliac vessels. There is a well-defined rounded opacity noted in right hypochondrium with peripheral curvilinear calcification. This may be due to hydatid cyst calcification in liver or old calcified abscess. This X-ray abdomen standing showing there is a multiple tiny radio opacity noted in region of right hypochondrium, chondriac region or right lumbar region. This opacity lies just beneath the margin of the liver. So mostly it is due to multiple gallbladder calculi. Next line of investigation is ultrasonography of abdomen to confirm this radio opacity lies within the gallbladder. This X-ray abdomen showing multiple rounded homogeneous opacity, pellet-like opacity noted in left hypochondriac region. This is mostly of ingested multiple tablet. This X-ray abdomen showing multiple tiny foci of calcification noted in region of L2, L3 vertebral body and resembles the shape of the pancreas. So This is pancreatic parenchymal calcification in case of the chronic pancreatitis. Non-visceral abdominal calcification are atherosclerosis of the abdominal aorta or major vessels, mesenteric lymph node calcification in case of treated Cox abdomen. Phlebolyths. Phlebolyths are calcification within the venous channels of the body. It is typically seen as well-defined rounded opacity with central lucency. Aneurysm of the aorta, dermoid. Dermoid can be present in ovaries. Typically, dermoid has tooth-like calcification within it. Guinea worm infestation present in muscular plane, typically linear radiodense opacity within the muscular plane. Injection granuloma mostly present in gluteal region. Ligament calcification may be present in case of fluorosis. Hydrated cyst within the organs, or it can also be present in peritoneal cavity, which can calcify. Foreign body. Ingested foreign body most common in pediatric age group. For localization of this foreign body, we can identify radio-opaque foreign body on X-ray. For localization of this foreign body, we have to take AP as well as lateral radiograph of abdomen to localize this foreign body within the bowel. In case of tuberculosis, there may be tuberculous peritonitis or psoas sepsis calcification. Psoas sepsis. These both can calcify and giving typical appearance on X-ray. Other chest condition that may mimic acute abdomen, that is pleurisy. Pleurisy is pleuritic pain, pneumonia or consolidation within the lower lung zone, pulmonary infarction, myocardial infarction, leaking thoracic aneurysm, congestive cardiac failure, pericarditis or pneumothorax. In this condition, patient may be present like a acute abdomen. So you have to take chest X-ray as well as abdomen X-ray in that case. What is radiographic technique? Supine abdomen radiograph and erect chest regarded as the basic standard radiograph. But a horizontal abdominal radiograph, either erect or left lateral decubitus, is also sometimes indicated. If patient is not able to stand, then you can take X-ray. Also take X-ray in sitting position. X-ray abdomen should include both hemidiaphragm as well as hernial site. A left lateral view may be indicate or differentiate low large bowel obstruction from pseudo obstruction or paralytic ileus. On X-ray abdomen, we can see dilatation of the bowel. Dilatation of the bowel may be gastric dilatation, small bowel dilatation or large bowel dilatation. Causes of gastric dilatation are mechanical gastric obstruction. That is due to some mass lesion within the stomach, pyloric region, or some external compression of pyloric region by surrounding organ or mass lesion. Other is paralytic ileus in case of postoperative patient. Gastric volvulus may be there. There are three types of gastric volvulus: longitudinal, transverse and mesenteric axis. You need not go to in detail in this volvulus. What is differentiating point between small and large bowel obstruction on X-ray abdomen? That is important for you. In case of small bowel obstruction, rostra is absent, while in large bowel obstruction, rostra are present, which is signature of the large bowel. And valvuli connivent is present in jejunum, while valvuli valvuli conniventis are absent in large bowel. Number of loops are many and centrally distributed in case of small bowel, while number of loops are few and distribution of loops are peripheral in case of large bowel obstruction. Radius of curvature of the loop is small in case of small bowel as because of its location, and radius of curvature of the loop is large in case of large bowel obstruction, and diameter of the loop is generally 30 to 50 mm or 3 to 5 centimeter in case of small bowel obstruction, while diameter of the loop is more than 50 mm in case of large bowel obstruction, and solid feces are absent in case of small bowel obstruction and solid feces are present in case of large bowel obstruction. By these points you can differentiate, mostly differentiate small bowel and large bowel obstruction. If there is any query, or you can go for ultrasonography of abdomen, and for localization of site of obstruction you can do CT scan of abdomen. Small bowel obstruction. Multiple air fluid level in X-ray abdomen standing. Dilated fluid filled small bowel, also identified as a sausage-shaped oval or round soft tissue density that change its position in different views. The string of bead sign is classical sign for small bowel obstruction. What is this string of bead sign? That is due to bubble of gas trapped between valvuli connivendi is only when very dilated small bowel is almost completely filled with fluid, and the diagnostic point for the small bowel obstruction. Obstruction due to strangulated hernia. A gas filled, in this case, a gas filled viscous may be present below the level of inguinal ligament. So we should include both hemidiaphragm as well as hernial site in X-ray abdomen standing. This is X-ray abdomen standing showing multiple air fluid level noted within the dilated small bowel loop. Some of the small bowel loop shows valvuli connivendi, while some are featureless. So this is small bowel obstruction. Site is mostly in distal ileum. This X-ray abdomen standing showing multiple air fluid level noted within dilated large bowel loop. So this is mostly large bowel, possibility of large bowel obstruction is there. This is gas-filled jejunum, in which there is a characteristic sign of valvuli connivendi is present, and there is also edematous in this X-ray. Also there is a edematous wall of the jejunum is seen. This X-ray abdomen showing multiple air fluid level within the dilated large bowel. This is ascending colon, this is hepatic flexure, this is part of the proximal transverse colon, this is distal transverse colon overlapping on the descending colon, and this is part of splenic flexure. So this is a X-ray of large bowel obstruction. What is strangulated obstruction? When two limbs of a loop are incarcerated by a band or within a hernia, its vascular supply may be compromised. Visible on X-ray is a soft tissue mass or pseudotumor or coffee bean sign. If gangrene occurs, linear gas shadow may be seen in the wall of the small bowel. Thumb printing in the wall of the bowel if gangrene is present. I will show you thumb printing in detail in next slide. This is thumb printing appearance. This is print like a thumb. So this is known as a thumb printing. This is due to gangrenous edematous valvulae conventi or hostration mark, which giving feeling like defect in X-ray, in barium X-ray. Next is volvulus of the small intestine. This occurs mostly in pediatric age group due to etiology, may be anomaly of the mesentery or frequently present in case of malrotation. Signs of volvulus on plain X-ray are obstruction, intramural gas within the wall of the bowel and the thumb printing due to gangrenous changes in the bowel wall. What is gallstone ileus? Mechanical intestinal obstruction caused by impaction of one or more gallstone in intestine, usually in terminal ileum. Gas is on X-ray abdomen. You can find gas within the biliary tree. Branching pattern with gas being more prominent centrally. This can be differentiated from gas present in portal vein. In case of gas within the portal vein, which is located peripherally near the edges of the liver, while gas within the biliary tree present centrally. On X-ray, abnormal location of gallstone is there and changes the position of the gallstone is the diagnostic sign of gallstone ileus. And relatively large fluid gas ratio is present in case of gallstone ileus or obstruction due to gallstone. Modality of choice to diagnose gallstone ileus is CT scan abdomen. What is intussusception? Intussusception is most frequently in children under 2 years of age. It commences in the ileum as a result of inflammation of the lymphoid tissue. Clinically recognized as the pain, vomiting, blood in stool, and the palpable lump. On X-ray, soft tissue opacity mass, sometimes surrounded by crescent of the gas, situated most commonly in right hypochondrium, but it can be present in left lumbar region, umbilical region, right RIF, anywhere it can be present. On USG, typically target sign is seen. CT is useful for diagnosis of the intussusception and to know etiology of the intussusception. This is X-ray abdomen standing showing there is a air-filled, gas-filled small bowel loops noted in right lumbar region and right iliac fossa and pelvic region. There is a well-defined soft tissue opacity noted in umbilical region, which is peripherally surrounded by crescent of gas. This is confirmed by barium enema study. This is a negative film of the barium enema study showing there is a large radiolucency noted, well-defined radiolucency noted in the region of transverse colon, which is obstructing the passage of the barium, which giving crescent surrounding the intussusception. This is colic type of intussusception. Other is mechanical large bowel obstruction. Causes of mechanical large bowel obstruction are tumor. There may be carcinoma of the large bowel or abscess surrounding the large bowel, diverticular disease or diverticular abscess can also cause mechanical large bowel obstruction. Volvulus, cecal volvulus and sigmoid volvulus are more common in large bowel, or extrinsic compression from a pelvic tumor which cause intestinal obstruction. What is cecal volvulus? A cecal volvulus occur due to some degree of malrotation. Occurs in young age group, mostly in 30 to 60 years of age group. Cecal twist and invert, so the pole of the cecum occupy the left upper quadrant. This is X-ray showing the cecal volvulus, in which the air-filled cecum and the proximal ascending colon is seen. Other is sigmoid volvulus, occurring mostly in old age group, in psychiatrically disturbed, mentally retarded or institutionalized people, diagnosed by ahostral margin, left flank over left side, liver over left side, apex under left hemi diaphragm, inferior convergence on left, air fluid ratio is greater than 2:1, pelvic over left side, and on barium enema, bird of prey sign is present. These both X-ray are of sigmoid volvulus. In this X-ray, there is a large air-filled sigmoid is seen, which occupies almost whole abdomen. Its apex is under left hemi diaphragm, it overlap left flank, it overlap liver here, inferior convergence near the left side of the abdomen. This X-ray shows sigmoid is almost showing no hostation marks. This and there is a large air fluid ratio, air as compared to fluid noted. There is a large amount of gas present in sigmoid volvulus. On barium enema, there is a sharp obstruction causing further passage of the barium, which gives bird of prey sign. In case of acute colitis, on X-ray abdomen staining, there is a no fecal residue or gas is present. This is known as empty abdomen sign. Other is ischemic colitis. The colon most likely to involve is phrenic flexure, proximal descending colon. In ischemic colitis, thumb printing has been used to describe the appearance of submucosal thickening. In case of paralytic ileus, there is a generalized dilatation of small bowel as well as large bowel is present. On sonography, you can see fluid-filled dilated aperistaltic bowel loops. It occurs mostly in peritonitis or in post-operative period. Generalized dilatation of bowel loops are there, and in local inflammation such as in pancreatitis, cholecystitis or appendicitis, the ileus may affect only one or two adjacent loop of the small bowel. This is known as sentinel loop sign. Third of our objective is to diagnose pneumoperitoneum or free gas in X-ray abdomen standing. Pneumoperitoneum is presence of free intraperitoneal air. Causes of pneumoperitoneum are perforation of the bowel or hollow viscus. It can be due to peptic perforation, diverticulitis, or malignant tumor leads to perforation. As little as 1 ml of free gas can be demonstrated radiographically when X-ray is taken in erect position or left lateral decubitus X-ray is taken. Either erect chest or left lateral decubitus X-ray is required. The patient should remain in this position for 5 to 10 minutes before taking horizontal ray radiography is taken to ensure that any free gas has time to rise to the highest point. Signs of a pneumoperitoneum on supine radiograph are, I will show this all sign on X-ray in coming slides. Right upper quadrant gas, that is perihepatic gas, subhepatic region gas. Morison's pouch is a hepatorenal space. Presence of gas within Morison's pouch, presence of gas within the fissure for ligament teres, regular sign or double wall sign. That is visualization of both sides of the wall of the bowel. Ligament visualization, that is falciform ligament, umbilical, medial and lateral, that giving inverted V sign. Visualization of urachus, triangular air sign, that is triangular shape air trapped between the bowel wall. The cupola sign. Cupola sign is the presence of air beneath the central tendon of the diaphragm. The football or air dome sign is seen in case of pediatric age group, and presence of scrotal air. This is chest X-ray. Chest X-ray taken in erect position, showing free gaze under both domes of the diaphragm. The diaphragm seen is a thin, curvilinear opacity. This is also X-ray abdomen showing free gaze under both domes of diaphragm. This X-ray taken in erect position, and this X-ray is taken in supine position. Cross-table lateral view is taken, so free gaze is seen under beneath the anterior abdominal wall. This both X-rays shows free gaze. This you can see is showing free gaze, and this is liver shadow. This is spleen shadow. This is bowel. This is spleen, and this is free gaze under the left dome of the diaphragm. In this X-ray, there is a chest plus abdomen X-ray, supine X-ray showing there is a extensive pneumoperitoneum noted. This is football sign or air dome sign. This is mostly present in case of pediatric age group due to extensive pneumoperitoneum. Then Rigler sign. This X-ray is taken in supine position. Bowel wall is outlined by the intraluminal as well as the extraluminal air, which is free peritoneal gas. Both sides of the wall can be seen. That is Rigler sign. This is X-ray abdomen, chest X-ray standing showing the free air under beneath the central tendon of the diaphragm. This is cupola sign. This X-ray is taken in supine position, and there are multiple air-filled small bowel loops noted, and there is also loaded ascending colon and descending colon is seen, and there is visualization of lateral umbilical ligament by the free intraperitoneal air. This giving inverted V sign. Visualization of falciform ligament in case of pneumoperitoneum. This X-ray shows there is a free gas under both dome of diaphragm, as well as visualization of falciform ligament, which falciform ligament is connecting the liver to the anterior abdominal wall, and visualization of this ligament due to presence of free intraperitoneal air. In this X-ray also presence of Rigler sign is there. This is chest X-ray plus upper abdomen standing taken in standing position, showing the free gas under both domes of diaphragm, and there is a lucency over the liver, and presence of Rigler sign due to free intraperitoneal air. Some conditions are simulating a pneumoperitoneum, which give on X-ray as a appearance of pneumoperitoneum, but it is not in fact pneumoperitoneum. Sometimes intestine, large bowel mostly, positioned between liver and diaphragm, giving Chilaiditi syndrome. Sometimes subphrenic abscess, giving appearance of air fluid level under right dome of diaphragm. Sometimes curvilinear supradiaphragmatic pulmonary collapse or subdiaphragmatic fat, giving lucency, which can be confused with the air in case of pneumoperitoneum, or diaphragmatic irregularity or cyst in pneumatosis intestinalis. This is chest X-ray abdomen with chest X-ray with upper abdomen taken in standing position, showing there is a presence of large bowel between the right dome of diaphragm and the liver. This is known as Chilaiditi syndrome. This is chest X-ray plus upper abdomen taken in standing position, showing there is a large air fluid level noted under the right dome of diaphragm. This is not a true pneumoperitoneum, as this line is thick and irregular. This is a case of right subdiaphragmatic abscess, and in case of pneumoperitoneum, this line is thin and regular. In patient of acute appendicitis, the investigation of choice is ultrasonography of abdomen, but sometimes there are some features present in X-ray abdomen also. In case of acute appendicitis, sometimes there may be presence of appendix calculus. It may be 5 to 16 mm in size. Sentinel loop, that is dilated atonic ileal loops containing fluid level. While there may be presence of widening of properitoneal fat line or blurring of properitoneal fat line due to localized inflammation. Right lower quadrant has due to fluid and inflammation in RIF region. Scoliosis with concavity towards the right side. Mass indenting sometimes there may be presence of mass indenting the cecum and blurring of psoas, shadow and gas in appendix. In acute pancreatitis, the finding on X-ray abdomen may be gas in duodenal cap or loop, or single dilated small bowel, that is known as sentinel loops, or small bowel ileus. That is localized dilated peristaltic bowel loops surrounding the inflammatory focus. Dilated colon, particularly transverse and ascending colon. Dilated terminal ileum and loss of left psoas outline and presence of left pleural effusion is there. In case of chronic pancreatitis, we find pancreatic parenchymal calcification and or intraductal pancreatic calculi. Other is intra-abdominal abscesses. In case of elevation of hemidiaphragm by subphrenic abscess, displacement of duodenal loop by pancreatic abscess, or displacement of the colon by the paracolic abscess. This is X-ray abdomen standing, showing multiple radio opacity noted at level of L1, L2 and L3 in lumbar region. This is a case of multiple renal calculi. These all are calculi. And this is calcification of the costal cartilage. This is X-ray KUB showing there is a radiodense opacity noted in right lumbar region at the level of L1, L2 vertebrae. This is possibility due to right renal calculus. This enlarged view showing the air lucency noted in right hypochondriac region just beneath the lower margin of the liver, and it resembles the shape of the gallbladder. So it is a case of emphysematous polycystitis. This X-ray KUB shows there is a air lucency within the renal parenchyma on both sides, as well as perinephric air lucency is noted on right side, and there is a multiple air lucency noted in muscular plane in right hip region. This is a case of emphysematous pyelonephritis with surgical emphysema. This occurs mostly in immunocompromised patient and in patient of diabetes mellitus. Thank you.